Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I'm a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you could do a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated. Go ahead and smash that bell. That'll let you know when new videos appear. And feel free to leave comments. I always do my best to try to respond in a timely manner, and I enjoy reading them. Today I wanted to do a review on a classic box set. This one comes from Eric Clapton. It's called Crossroads. It was originally released back in April of 1988. This is an album that at the time it won some Grammys. It was also one of the fastest selling box sets. Got up to number 34 on the Billboard album charts. And it ended up going over double platinum in sales. So it did very well. This is something that I picked up probably summer, fall 1988. It was a little pricey for me being a college student at the time, but I was able to scrounge up enough money and I was very happy with it. This has 4 CDs or 4 cassettes. I'm not sure how many LPs. And as you can see, this is the original way that they used to do box sets, like albums. There's 73 songs on here, and it basically shows Eric's professional career for the first 25 years, from 1963 through 1968. The cover art here is done by Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones. Done very well. I didn't know that he was also talented in that way. And then these are the different groups that he was with and solo stuff, and this is what you get on this album. How the CDs come. And I'll just show you one of them. And the back. My sister did this. I lent this to her years ago, and she cracked the jewel case. Anyway, that's that. Okay. I've always been a big Eric Clapton fan, but I didn't realize how much. I didn't really have anything from him by this point except, I don't think I had anything from him when I bought this. You know, his ties to George Harrison and the Beatles. I've always admired that. Let's put this right here. And let me show you the booklet. This is done by Anthony DeCurtis. The liner notes in here. And there's another picture from Ron Wood, or Ronnie as they call him. I'll just show you a few of the pictures. I won't show you all, but so you get a really good guy. Now, Anthony DeCurtis is one of the writers on Rolling Stone. Very well respected. I just liked it was just done very well. And then you've got a picture of George Harrison down there. They recorded a song called Roll It Over at Friar Park with Phil Spector and George. And then let's go get into the 80s. So we can show you that also. All 73 songs have information about who played on what, when it was recorded, if it was on an album or a single, what it appears on. So the compilation was produced by Bill Levinson. It came out in 1988, like I said. It was mastered by Greg Kelby at Sterling Sound in New York. and the digital editing by Rhonda Schoen at Sterling Sound. I gotta tell you, I hadn't listened to this box set in many years. I put it on. I don't have the best equipment, but I gotta tell you, it was amazing. It was just like something just as good as today. Now, they also said that it says Crossroads is a result of nearly 18 months of research and planning. They said that this compilation was digitally compiled and mastered from first generation master tapes or from tapes mixed specifically for it. Then they even have a songwriters and publisher index. There's a song on here, one of those songs that was unissued, and it was called I Found a Love, I think it's called, by Leon Russell, but at the time it said writer unknown. And I was thinking to myself, look, this was only like 14 years prior to that. You guys don't know. So let's talk about this, okay, shall we? It starts off with the Yardbirds, his band, where he's playing guitar on there. It has some early demos, then it goes into some of the singles. Now, Eric started very early with the band, and he ended up leaving when they released For Your Love. For Your Love, he thought they were going in too much of a pop direction. So this is 20-year-old Eric Clapton saying that. Other songs I like on here from that, A Certain Girl, I really like that. That stands out with the Yardbirds. For Your Love is my absolute favorite from them. I remember hearing that as a kid on oldies stations and just thought it was cool. I knew Clapton was on it. Was really good. After he left them, he went to join John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. So John Mayall was an older British white blues man, and he took a lot of young recruits, took them under his wings. A lot of the guitarists, even John McVie, bass player later for Fleetwood Mac, got his start there. Other people through the years, like Jeff Beck, if I'm not mistaken, and even Mick Taylor, that would later join the Rolling Stones. So here's Eric getting his take on there. And I know he's pretty much playing guitar on here, but I know that there was a song called Ramblin' on My Mind that he sings. It's one of the Robert Johnson songs, and then Lonely Years. So I was kind of surprised by that. I think Lonely Years might be a live recording. He was with them very briefly, and then Eric joined the supergroup Cream, which I had always really liked. Eric doing some vocals and playing guitar, and then, this is the Clapton is God part, where people started referring him to because of his lead guitar playing, just how amazing it was. Then you also had Ginger Baker on drums, and then you had Jack Bruce on bass, and then he would also write songs too and also sing, and I think he'd be the principal vocalist, but Eric would be in there too. You got the typical stuff like you'd expect, like I Feel Free, Strange Brew, Sunshine of Your Love, Anyone for Tennis, White Room, Badge, things like that. Badge was co-written by George Harrison. But you also have some other stuff on there, like Lottie Mama, which was recorded at the BBC studios. That was a traditional song. And then Steppin' Out, also at the BBC. Disc 2 continues with Cream, and then it goes into the next group, which was Blind Faith. Blind Faith is another super group, so here's Eric Clapton again on guitars. You have Stevie Winwood on keyboards and lead vocal, pretty much. They did one album together. He was from Traffic and Spencer Davis group. Ginger Baker came along also doing drums. And then you had Rick Gretsch from The Family. So you had that band. They have what you'd expect. The Wonderful Presence of the Lord. Can't Find My Way Home. And then a real unreleased song, Sleeping in the Ground, from those sessions. So I found that amazing too. He then, after they broke up in '69, he went with Delaney and Bonnie and friends, and he did some touring. George Harrison helped a little bit too, would play guitar on some of these gigs, but it was Eric who hung out with them, and he's featured on the song Coming Home. Now, he's not singing lead, but he is on there. And then they talk about Eric's solo period, that first solo album with Delaney and Bonnie helping out. George Harrison also helped out a little bit too. That boarded single, Tell the Truth, with Roll It Over. That was Roll It Over was the one that I mentioned that was recorded with at Friar Park, George's estate, with George Harrison and Phil Spector. And then Tell the Truth. Tell the Truth, they would later redo it for Layla. Then you have the Derek and the Dominoes album. That was the next, Derek and the Dominoes. The next band that Eric was a part of, really good musicians. Layla, the biggest song from that. You've got Key to the Highway, which is a live rendition. And what I like, starting disc 3, you start getting, you get 5 songs from the aborted second album of Derek and the Dominoes, which I think is amazing. Got to Get Better in a Little While. I know that that was later released on a live album from them, but there was a studio track originally. It was missing some overdubs, but you get a really good feel of what it felt like. I really like the song Evil. Eric's singing on that and just does a great job. That's a cover tune by Willie Dixon. And that was from there too, and I was just amazed. I'm like, these songs are amazing. You know, why didn't they release them? Well, the band had drugs. They got into drugs. They had other issues, internal issues, so they broke up. Eric went into seclusion, and then he emerged about 1.5 years later, and then he did his solo stuff, which is also what this talks about. So, you know, you have a lot of hits on here, which you would expect. You'd expect, you know, I Shot the Sheriff, though you got it live here. Later you have Wonderful Tonight, Lay Down Sally, the songs that we expect, Cocaine. But you also get deep album tracks. You get, what I really like about this box set is a lot of sessions had songs that were unreleased. And I'm listening to these and I'm like, well, this is just as good as the other stuff. Why didn't they put it out? That's what I like about this box set, and I think that this box set might have been maybe a first to kind of set an example for others. It's not just, you know, the greatest hits that we want to hear or the live material. There's so much more, and that's why I think this box set is really shining because of that. Disc 4, it goes into the late 70s and then it goes into the 80s. So you have Like Heaven Is One Step Away. That is a song that Eric recorded from Behind the Sun sessions, and he gave that to as a soundtrack song for Back to the Future. You have some unavailable B-sides on here too, which is really nice. You have stuff from Behind the Sun, She's Waiting, but it's missing Forever Man, which is too bad. That was one that I really wanted. Some B-sides, I think Want to Make Love to You is a B-side from August. Now, the most wonderful song on here is the song that was unreleased. This is the newest song. It was recorded in 1987. I believe it was for a Michelob commercial. It's a remake of the J.J. Cale song After Midnight that we all know and love if you're an Eric Clapton fan. However, this is slowed down a little bit. You got him wailing on the guitar playing, and you do hear some keyboard. You have, I'm going to call it updated. He's in the commercial for Michelob, if I'm not mistaken. He's in this dingy, this dark bar, and see his band, his musicians are playing, and then this song is just going. And I was like, oh, I just want more of that. So this box set came out, and we got it. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, I would have to give this a number 5. So thank you very much for watching my video. One more thing I wanted to say about the sound, though. The sound is really stellar. Something that was recorded, remastered in 1988. I couldn't believe how great it would sound. So this is not like you pick this up and then you're going to be like, oh gee, this doesn't sound that good. It was really great. Another thing, I saw this a couple weeks ago in a used record store. Couldn't believe it. $9.99. So thanks for watching my video. You take care. Bye.